Hey guys, this is Camfrey15 and I am back at it with another video for you guys. And I'm back with Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode reviews for you guys. Man, what a way to end the episode. I did not see that coming. My mouth was dropped the last 5 minutes of that episode. I was like, and then the closing to the episode, I'm like, what did I just see? And just like as you see in the image on my thumbnail, the whole fact you have John Walker's Captain America standing with the shield with blood on it. I'm like, yo, this turned a little dark and I like it. But anyways, guys, let's talk about this episode because I thought this was a really good freaking episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So obviously, where we last left off, Wakanda's here. They're here. Like the Maji, I forget that. I keep forgetting their freaking names, to be honest. I keep forgetting their names. But anyways, Bucky's talking. We start the episode essentially off with the fact that, we see how Bucky finally loses the, I guess, programming in his head from the standpoint. Okay, sorry for that quick break, but I was talking about the Dora Milaje. Obviously the Wakandan people, the Wakanda female soldiers, and my goodness, they essentially tell Bucky, look, you got 8 hours. But going back to the scene where Bucky finally is free of, the brainwashing effect, you can see it in Bucky's reaction of how happy and overjoyed he is that he can now live a normal life and everything like that, which was a pretty cool moment for Bucky and a pretty cool moment to see that. But anyways, as I was cutting back, obviously the trio of Sam, Bucky, and Zemo are all trying to find more information on Carly, and they find out that obviously the motherly figure to her is dead and everything. So they try to go look for information too. Also, Bucky informs them that, the Wakanda people are here, gonna take you in and stuff like that. So, you see them search around looking for people. Zemo gets it out of this kid where, where they're gonna find where the funeral's taking place. And lo and behold, guess who we run into again? Good old John Walker and Lamar Hoskins, Battlestar, and the new Captain America, which I was like, oh God, can these guys freaking go away? Anyways, they pull up, they're like, listen, you need to help, you need to give us the information you're looking for and stuff like that. So they do tell them okay, we know where Carly's at, but listen, we're doing things my way. And this is what Sam is saying, look, I'm gonna talk to her. I've been in this genre of talking to people and getting into their minds, psychologically, and trying to talk things out with people like that. And, John Walker's like, bruh, no, I'm not doing that. We're going in there, we're taking her out and stuff like that. But it gets to the point where, Lamar is like, whoa, come on, John. Maybe we let him do his thing and just let him go. And I'm like, yes, you should be listening to the Avengers. You haven't done this shit. You haven't done nothing. You just are parading with a shield around and everything. So we see the funeral scene and everything. And then we get the conversation between Sam and Carly. And I thought it was a pretty good scene where the scene essentially makes it to where Carly now feels more comfortable around Sam here as they're talking and stuff like that, because he brings up the fact people see you as a supremacist or terrorist and stuff like that. And Carly's like, no, we don't, I'm not like that, And essentially Sam's like, look, I can understand, the reasoning of what you're trying to do, but I just don't like how you're committing the acts of what you're doing. Instead of saying, look, I understand you standing up for your rights and stuff like that, of you being fairly untreated unjustly, but don't do it where you're killing innocent people. And it's getting to the point where, Sam's getting to her. They're starting to connect. Everything's going good. And it seems like she's actually starting to take a look back and start to now look fully like, you know what, maybe he's right. Maybe I am doing some things at a different approach that I could do better. Um, and then that's when John Walker invades and screws up the entire operation. And essentially, she gets pissed. She feels like it's a lack of trust, and he screws up the entire thing. They go back to Zemo's hideout, and essentially the Dora Milaje show up. They're like, "Okay, we want Zemo now. Your time is up," and stuff like that. And well, too bad, so sad. The crazy enough thing is, which actually funny enough in that whole scene after she runs away, Carly runs into Zemo. She gets shot, and she also drops the super soldier serum. And essentially, Zemo picks it up. He's like, "This is the serum, isn't it?" And he starts presumably smashing it. Eventually, it comes to the point where it looks like he's about to shoot Carly, but then John Walker kind of saves her by just throwing the shield, knocking him out, and stuff like that. Carly eventually gets away and stuff like that, but then that's when John, in the corner of his eye, sees one vial of the super soldier serum still left unbroken by Zemo. He takes it. Anyways, like I said, I went ahead. So now going back to what I was talking about, where the Dora Milaje show up, essentially, they're like, "Zemo, your time's up. You're coming with us now because things are getting hectic," and stuff like that. And eventually, you just have freaking John Walker like, "Yo, I'm the new Captain America. Hey, listen, we got this. And this is our prisoner." But then obviously we all know Wakanda soldiers do not take a no for an answer, because obviously made by King T'Challa, aka R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman, "I don't care." Because that's what Wakanda soldiers do. They just don't care who you are and what you're about. And they presumably kick John Walker and Lamar Hoskins' ass, like literally. Bucky and Sam try to stop them and get involved in this nonsense, but they're like, "Don't fuck with us either." And we see one of the people actually just disengages Bucky's arms by just like tapping this, and it automatically falls off. So literally, the freaking Wakandans, which especially the ones who worked with Bucky, know a fail-safe to be like, "Oh, if Bucky went berserk, we know how to take his arm out, and he can't do nothing with it." So essentially, if Bucky's going up against Wakandans, it's not gonna end well for him. He's at a complete disadvantage, which was pretty cool. But it's still still pretty cool that he can just disengage it back onto his stuff like that. So yeah. Also too, Zemo's watching this whole thing. He's escaped, and we don't know where he's at. And it's like, oh great, he's gone now. So he's running wherever, God knows wherever he is, and stuff like that. So eventually they find the next location. Eventually we find out that Carly calls up Sam's sister, and it kind of gives a threat to the family. Like, "Listen, I just want to talk to your, brother," and stuff like that. Eventually that's when we get the whole crazy climax where, we have the whole scene where Carly and Sam are talking yet again. Bucky's in the area this time and stuff like that. Things ensue again because John Walker just chooses the perfect time to show up. He tries to show up again and ruins the whole plan. And this time, when we see him again, Sam runs into him, and we see that this man literally can bend bars. So in other words, he's got the super soldier serum now. He took it because earlier, before this whole scene, he was talking to Lamar Hoskins, and he asked Lamar, like, "Would you take it if you had the chance?" And Lamar's like, "Oh yeah, I would," and stuff like that. Again, and we know that the super soldier serum, essentially enhances what you're thinking and stuff like that, along with the capabilities we get. And you see Sam just literally see John Walker just bend a bar, and it scares this one flag smasher, and it's like, what the hell? And I'm like, oh great, here we go. Eventually comes to the point where John Walker and Bucky get teamed up by these two, by some flag smashers. They fight them off until Bucky shows up to help Sam and them. And then Lamar shows up. But the only problem is Lamar gets kind of kicked by Carly, and it's presumed that he died because John is trying to waking up and say, "Hey, yo, Lamar." And he finds out that he's kind of dead because his neck kind of like, and then stuff like that. And that's kind of when John goes on the deep end. John Walker chases one of the flag smashers again, showing when he jumps out the window, he smashes a whole bus, goes again, showing that the super soldier serum's in effect. And then he catches up with him. He manages to hit him with the shield multiple times, and then, like how Steve did to Iron Man or Tony in Civil War, is essentially just, smashing the shield, yada yada yada, down and down. The only difference compared to that scene is Steve didn't take out Tony's head. He just took out, kind of the arc reactor of Tony's suit to make sure it didn't power, so he couldn't follow them and stuff like that. But John Walker here, he repeatedly goes at the guy's head, and they do a visual scene where you just have the flag smasher's hand just covered in blood and just twitching and then gone. And then essentially this man, and you can see it in his eyes, I cut to freaking John Walker, and you just see the look, he's like, ah! And then essentially he decapitates the flag smasher's head. And he gets up, and he's surrounded by a crowd of people. Bucky and Falcon show up in the nick of time. Well, not in the nick of time, too late. And everybody's just on their phone in the area, just looking and like, Captain America just decapitated somebody. And that's where the episode ends off, where you just see John Walker, like I said in my thumbnail image, standing with the shield. You just have the blood on the shield, which is like, well, yeah, that's Captain America. That's the new Captain America for you. Definitely not my Cap. But it was a really good episode. That ending was very high action, high packed. Very much enjoyed that ending. Now, whereas they could go with the story, the Flag Smashers are still, I guess, a loose end tie up, as well as Zemo. We don't know where he's at right now. We do know that the Dora Milaje are, I guess, trying to follow him and catch up with his whereabouts. So we'll see where that goes there, maybe. The Flag Smashers are still a thing because they got away. Carly also saw that he did that to her, so she's only gonna maybe make her go over the deep end even more, because guess what? You just killed one of my men right in front of my face, and I saw it in a brutal fashion. And in terms of how the shield is probably gonna be taken away from John Walker, I'm guessing the US government's gonna probably see this and be like, dude, Captain America, John Walker freaking just killed a guy in broad daylight and did it in a way that's like not even necessary. I feel like what they're going to try to do is they're going to strip him of the title of Captain America, and they're going to be like, okay, we need that shield back, please and thank you, because the game seems like we're wrong. And I feel like John Walker, he's going to let that power get to his head, and he's going to be like, no, I'm not giving this up. I'm the new Captain America, and that stands. And you can't tell me a damn thing because I'm stronger than you, and stuff like that. And that's when you're probably going to get the battle between maybe Bucky and Sam, or probably just Sam and John for the shield, as we'll see Falcon or Sam take that shield back from John Walker, and John Walker will presumably be arrested and stuff like that. So yeah, good episode. That last bit was just my integral thoughts on what could happen. We'll just see. But anyways, that's all I gotta say. So if you guys liked the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts on this week's episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, as well as hit that subscribe button if you want to get more MCU content going forward. Anyways, guys, hope you guys have a great rest of your day and a safe rest of your day. Until then, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.